And now for something completely different.
Good morning, morning. It is before noon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Art of the Hero with my guest Miller. You are watching Cross Examinations. Today's topic, what did I call it? The Curse of the Serpent. Bum, bum, bum. What the heck is he talking about, and why am I glowing? What is the deal with this camera? I know it's because I'm wearing dark. I know I complain about this all the time, and I never do anything to fix it. But the light changes. I'm sitting in front of my window, and so the light changes from day to day. But from day to night, most certainly it changes. I really need it. Look at that. My mug's all like dirty. I need to clean the outside. Good morning, and happy Black Friday to you all, one and all. I hope you are having a wonderful day and didn't stay up too late last night going to Walmart or Target or whatever, fighting the hordes for good deals on large screen televisions. I don't know what regular people do on Black Friday. I just stay at home. Oop, there's my mute. Oh, and only 2 people watching now. I guess the alerts are not going out. What is up, Dennis Peruch? How you doing, my brother? Like, share, I guess. Get some people in here. What's going on with you, Dennis? Tell me how your life's been. Are you gonna come to the auctions tonight or what, bruh? You have been sorely missed at the auctions. Tell me what's going on there, man. Are you just working, or are you like you tapped out on buying all this artwork? You also mentioned the Shah of Iran. That was literally for oil. Ugh. Got somebody in Twitter arguing with me about the Middle East. Blah. I helped pick up and assemble furniture on Black Friday. That's always fun. I did a stream of me assembling furniture in Eden's room once. You got plans tonight. Friday night plans. All right. That's too bad. We're gonna be doing some metal trading cards tonight. That'll be fun. We'll see how that goes. Never done it before. I think I showed them off the past day or two. Maybe just yesterday. I don't know. I'm waiting for my coffee to kick in. I got up, got out of bed. Oh man, do you ever have a dream where like you're dreaming that you're getting up and you're doing everything, and then you wake up and you have to do it all over again? Like I literally I dreamt that I was brushing my teeth and all that stuff, and then I got up and I'm like, I gotta brush my teeth again. But I had never actually brushed my teeth in the first place. So Dennis says long hours at work. Long work hours. Had a couple resources stolen. Oh no. And lots of work maintenance. Security is a non-stop effort. Must keep our IT systems secure. Understood, sir. Sorry, there's one yawn. Where's Lady Celtic Moon to count my yawns? Maybe I should just do cocaine in the morning instead of coffee and get me up a little faster. Well, Super Plus Ultra says, hey all. Super Plus Ultra, are you withheld? Or did you just steal the Bone Star thing? My dad said he dreamt he tackled a person as he jumped out of bed onto the floor. Huh. Interesting. What's up, fam? What's up, Jim Crowdy? Not much. We're just talking about silly dreams. Are you what? Oh, you use the term Bone Star, which is what Withheld rather not say always uses. So I just asked if you were Withheld's other name. Withheld doesn't come here anymore because he got offended by something. I did see him on Order of the Green Hand last week, though, where he started giving me grief, and so they blocked him from his channel. They're like, click on the draw. You're out of here. Nope, you're just that creative. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, Super Plus Ultra in the last episode said that he thinks the zombie Lone Star should thus be named Bone Star. Because, you know, zombies, bad bones sticking out and stuff. So, it is Black Friday. Black Friday, ladies and gentlemen. I guess this is the time. I'll share. Oh no, that's the wrong screen. All right. Let me show you guys what is going on for Black Friday, since this is Black Friday. This is not only Black Friday, but ladies and gentle worms, this is the last weekend for Lone Star Second Hero, Heart of the Hero Second Printing. This campaign closes on Monday night. So, I don't know. Hopefully it'll have a nice little push. Withheld thinks the anti-CG spaz cases are Mike's side. Well, all those guys think you're on one side or the other. And it's like, dude, I am not a follower. I am not one who is, and that's another thing that irritates me, is them like, I don't want to get into that whole thing. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is stupid. It is stupid. And anyways, I'm here to shill comic books and talk about Jesus. And I'm all out of comic books. Actually, I'm not. So here, 14.3. Let's see if we got any updates here. 14.3.33. So we sold something for $33. What's $33? So it'd be something for $25 plus shipping, $8 shipping, I think. But here's the deal. Here's the deal for Black Friday. All 9 covers of Heart of the Hero for only $10 each, plus a unique metal Lone Star bookmark to go with them. Only 24 hours, and you can only get this particular metal bookmark from this deal. So 4 claims so far. That's not bad, not too shabby. And then on the Lone Star Monster Hunt, we have an 8 for $80 deal, which is 8 books. That is the 4 Soul of the Soldier covers, 4 Monster Hunt covers, all the color ones, not the black and white ones. That's a different. I didn't want to do that because it would have been like 112 for 120, and it's like I wanted to keep these under $100. And a different exclusive metal Lone Star bookmark. 3 of those claimed, not too bad. Actually, let me refresh and see if anything's moving on that. Nope. So those are the deals for Black Friday, ladies and gentlemen. So if you don't know, if you want, oops, that's Twitter. Twitter is hell. That's what's going on just today. So yeah, get on over there if you haven't already, and if you want to get some good deals, then do that. Withheld thinks the oh gosh, is that the last thing anyone said, right, Thulu? Let's see, 7 likes, 11 watching. Please like and share. And we can talk about, it's only 9 minutes in. Tell me what you guys are going to be doing this weekend. What's up, Josh Graydon? Tell me what is new in the world of you. I will be here all day today. Hopefully I will get the labels in, so I'll be able to start doing some additional fulfillment. I also have some art I need to pack up and ship out. And then later, we're gonna be oh gosh darn it. I'm gonna be doing this Black Friday thing. I gotta have some friends on, just hang out and chat on the tubes. Gosh, I wonder if it's gonna rain again. I need to go for a walk, but it was raining when I got up, so I didn't want to go for a walk. Oddly, I don't want to go for a walk in the rain. I know, I'm so strange. Cosmetti says, hope everyone is having a good weekend. Well, the weekend starts tomorrow, man. Although a lot of people have a 4-day weekend because Thanksgiving. So that might be why a lot of people aren't here right now. 12 people watching. This is a very slow day. Ocio? Oh, what is ocio? I guess it means hello, but what language is that, Raymond? Cosmetic Excel. Jim Carney. How everyone's just saying hello to each other in the chat. Talk amongst yourselves. Why not? Why not? Cherokee. Oh, right on. Cherokee. Who do I know that's Cherokee? Oh, a girl who used to go to my church. Black Friday crashed Costco's website. My team tried reaching them at 5 a.m. If their website goes down, it stays down until someone goes into work. Oof. That is a no bueno. Dang, Dennis. Hi, all listening along while driving. Well, fantastic. Sounds good. Did anyone get a notification? Just curious, because I figured the Curse of the Serpent wouldn't set off any bells with YouTube. But at this point, I have no idea. Hey, Mike, think we'll ever do a deep dive on some of the OT books like we did with John? Fun. That would be fun. I would very much enjoy that. No notifications. No notifications. No notifications. No notifications. No notifications. Ah, my brother. Goodness. Why does YouTube hate people using their service? Your service, the purpose of your service, YouTube, is to get people to watch stuff on your service. Why do you make it impossible for people to know that people they want to watch are on? Please do share in any and all various and sundry options that you have. Choose a community. I'm going to share this to Comics Culture. And there's only 300 people there, but post. I have unfortunately been lax on my Redditing. So Twitter, and I'm already live on Facebook, so it doesn't make any sense. Twitch sends notifications, so does my work. Speaking of which, bye, back to work. All right, Dennis, see you later. Comic Collection Agency. Mike, I found the video about Earth's crust with screams from hell we were talking about the other day. Isn't that the one I turned on? I was like, My stepson's in from the Marines today, so my family's all volunteer firemen and EMTs. So today between calls is our Thanksgiving. Oh, okay. Fire Dragon says YouTube is run by a moronic CEO. Yeah. Well, I don't want to watch that Comic Collection Agency. Why don't you just post it to Twitter? It's my animated comic. What? I thought gnoming ear rape was dead. What? What does that mean? What does that even mean? All right, let's see where we're at. We're close enough. Let's go ahead and talk about the topic of the day. And I'm going to preface this. This is a little silly. New fossils suggesting snakes once had legs helps explain God's curse on serpents in Genesis. All right, I'm gonna read this, and then we'll discuss. A new study in the Science Advances journal showed that at one point in time, snakes might have had legs. According to faithwire.com, the discovery of a fossil in Argentina may be helpful in proving the Genesis story. of Adam and Eve. Now, everyone knows I believe wholeheartedly in the Genesis story of Adam and Eve. But let's go on. The fossil discovered in the Rio Negro province of Argentina belonged to a creature called Nahash. The creature had 2 hind legs. Experts estimate the fossil to be about 100 million years old. The Genesis story of the fall gives the account of Adam and Eve eating the forbidden fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God condemned the serpent who tempted Adam and Eve, saying, "Cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life."
But then they say it's 500 or 100 million years old.
Scholars and groups have long debated whether the serpent in Genesis was a legged creature. Bodie Hodge, the head of the Creation Museum, weighed in on the conversation. When looking at Genesis 13 to 15, there's no direct indication that the serpent had legs, only that its curse would be, "On your belly you should go," Hodge said. But in Genesis 3:1, we get a clue that the serpent was likely classified as a beast of the field, which is probably why beasts of the field were also mentioned in 3:14. What makes this an issue is that it was a land animal and or flying reptile in general. Hence, it moved by flying, slithering, or with appendages. If it slithered away, what was the point of the curse? If it slithered already, what was the point of the curse? And why compare it to creatures which had legs in Genesis 3:14? He asked. Regardless, if it was a beast of the field, the serpent was indeed a land animal and capable of locomotion in the Garden of Eden and in the field. Hey, if it proves the Bible is real, it can't hurt. Well, my thing is that if it was cursed in the day of Adam and Eve, in the day of the fall, then whatever, well, I guess it would have survived. No, there was death after the fall. So it wouldn't have survived until the flood. And the flood is where we got all the fossils. So, no, there's no way that legged serpents would qualify. I mean, unless he only cursed some serpents or some particular serpents. Yeah, I know. How are any going to have legs? So yeah, there's a qualifier. If it is true that not every quote unquote serpent, and that's the weird thing. The word serpent actually just means like basically we'd translate it reptile today, and we know that not all reptiles slither on their bellies. But then I went and I did a little snakes with fossils search. Now here's the thing. Here's a living four-legged snake today. Oh no, it's not. Wait. Is it? Being speculated, suspicion. Oh no! This is from a what? Can be said to develop from a lizard. So is this one a lizard? No. Okay. Snake can be common. I should have read this article before I open it. Snakes will be 4,000 thousands of years ago. Gradually, Alexander scientists engaged in this. Now here's my snake bone. 11 million years ago, so found in Brazil. Find out. Martin teams and remained the snake pterostophilus amplitude. Well, okay, if they're found in Brazil, I have a little more. Here's my problem with believing this stuff. This is the fossils here. You can see the legs here. Fossils can be faked. That's kind of a thing I don't. I have not. It's not that I have a hard time believing everything, but look at the size of those feet. This is like, I don't know, what are like what else has big old feet like that? What kind of a, I wonder what, sorry, I'm just thinking to myself. I'm thinking out loud right now. The serpent was cursed to go on its belly, not necessarily that had to lose its legs. Immediately would have been lost the ability to go upright. Sorry, I haven't changed since last night. I need to take a shower. Just a thought. Fake. Yeah, it seems fake to me too, right? And here's the thing. In China, faking fossils is like an industry. They're making like feathered dinosaurs and all this kind of stuff to make money, because they can sell these crazy fossils for like mad money. So I don't necessarily buy into every new weird thing. Although, hey, you want to see a trippy thing? This is kind of like how snake fossil lost its legs. Evolution of snakes, and I think this is like some weird snake with a single clawed foot. I just kind of want to see this one. Snake with a single clawed foot has been discovered in China. Ugh. Weird. Is it all just one image? Skeletons of some snakes are found to bear vestigial structures, possibly limbs that were never used. User hips and do possess the DNA within their genes required to produce these limbs. Even more in the favor of genetic mutations, the role of pollution, which China has a lot of, plays. So I wish this was a video, because I don't see its shadow. Well, I guess I do kind of see its shadow here, if you count this bump as its shadow. But here's something else. Let me see if I can find it on Facebook. Ugh. Let me just go to Facebook. Oh, bloody hell. All right, let me see if I can find it here. One of my Facebook friends just found a skull, and he's like, "What is this?" And nobody could freaking. Hold on, let me see. Darn it! Did nobody? How do you go to your recent posts or recent comments? Activity? Where's activity? Timeline. Photos. Archive more. What happened to the activity log? This. All right, I'm just going to open image in a new tab. I wonder if I can do this over here. Check that out. All right. Now, I know this looks flat here, but it's kind of the color. It's like it's just a dark spot on the tooth itself. And he posts this thing up, and he's like, anybody know what this thing is? And you can see the very, very faint shadow here of the tooth, right? So because I was thinking, like, wow, maybe that's photoshopped, because the tooth kind of looks like it's just sitting there. But I'm like, no, there is a very, very faint shadow here. So this is like legitimately a thing. And I don't think my friend is a Photoshop expert. So he takes this picture of the skull he finds, and it looks very small. Look at those bricks. So this thing is probably maybe 11 inches long. maybe a foot long, right? And I went through, and I was looking for long toothed, whatever. I was looking for anything that matched this for a while, and what it looks like, the skull itself, not the teeth, but the skull itself looks like more like a coyote or a wolf than anything else. So this is some sort of a canine. Yeah, that's the only angle he shows. But it's some sort of a canine. And that's another thing. You can tell, you can see how these because it's resting on this tooth, these teeth aren't touching the cement. So, I mean, that's either just excellent Photoshop work, or he just found essentially something I've never seen before. No one's ever. It's like a saber-tooth canine of some sort, which, there were saber-tooth cats. Why wouldn't there be saber-tooth canines? Just not discovered. Have I ever studied cryptozoology and seen how many dino-like creatures and odd, unknown, extinct animals still get reported from remote parts of the world? Pretty fascinating. Yeah, I love cryptozoology. But this is a friend of mine. He just found a skull. So it's just very cool. I think he's discovered a new species. The saber tooth, I don't know, let's see, 12 inches? If that thing's 12, that's got to be a wolf-sized creature. A wolf size. It's a chupacabra. No, I think it's just a saber-toothed wolf, except for the teeth are different. The front teeth here seem very like sort of standard canine, but these back teeth are almost look like vegetarian teeth, right? So I don't know. I did some digging, and one possible thing I saw was the what was it called? Except it obviously the face of it doesn't look like this at all. But look at this. The vegetarian saber-toothed mammal. Now, I don't know. The skull of a modern deer shows 2 long incisors teeth. A modern deer. That doesn't make any sense. My teeth lining impressive set of wheeled and impressive set of teeth, long and sharp. These teeth may look fragile. Internal structure root nearly reach the top of the skull. Protective layer of enamel. Those are reliable weapons. Pangea, land of creatures. T. eccentricus was one of those weird creatures. Partial remains of one were found in 2011. I need to see this because kind of the front of this looks like the other skull, but the rest of it just looks like a deer skull, which doesn't make sense. Abstract. View full text. Freaking annoying. Where's that picture? So I don't know. What if they broke off the front of this thing? What if this is one of those things? Except that's the thing. The back of this area here, this does not look like a deer at all. This and the top of the head, this all looks just like a wolf. This is canine. This part right here is fully canine, and then this part right here is canines have this too. The front does look like that deer head thing, right? Sort of. Like it doesn't have the canine front teeth. I don't know why I'm going into all this. Squirrel. Howdy, no notification. Hope everyone's Thanksgiving was awesome. Thank you, Andrew J. I think everybody did have a pretty good saber-toothed puppy. So I was thinking, whatever this other one was, since they won't flip and show you, this is partially reconstructed because it looks like they did have this part, which does look remarkably like this part, right? But the rest of the skull is wrong. This is a deer skull, and this is legitimately, that is canine. This is all canine right here. So I think they were looking for some sort of a weird saber-tooth vegetarian, and then they imagined this. Oh, look, la-di-da-di-da. Except, why'd they give him teeth? Why would you give him teeth from this fossil? This fossil is brother. Let me look this up, see if there's any other fossils of this. Oops, maps. Why did I hit maps? Actual fossil. Is there an actual fossil? Oh! This is the fossil they have. Okay, that's why they gave it teeth up front. This mashed up, jacked up fossil is what they created this whole creature from. This is how science works, ladies and gentlemen. This is how science works. They take this mashed up, jacked up, nearly indescribable pile of flattened bones, and they go, this is what this creature looked like. And then yeah, how they got from that to this deer thing, I have no idea. But what is that? That looks nothing like it. But okay, given that this is clearly a different kind of creature, let me see if there's a better one. Yeah, the teeth are different. Open image in a new tab. Oh, come on. Let's open image in a new tab. Why is it doing? I don't want to download it. Clearly different teeth. Clearly very fine cheekbone structure here, occipital bones here. Totally different to this. But yet again, a newly discovered saber-tooth creature, right? So obviously saber-toothism was not and then here's another weird one. Tiarajudens. Oh no, that's a saber-toothed cat. But obviously saber-toothism wasn't relegated to cats alone. It was that, whatever that weird thing was, and then this, which is, I would bet, you know, $9 out of $10 that was a canine, a saber-toothed canine. Interesting stuff. This has nothing to do with the Bible. But what we were talking about was the snake with the fossils, well, the snake fossils with legs. Whether these are real or not, almost a moot point as far as the Bible goes. Open image in a new tab. Because, gosh, of course it's a tiny thing. Because they wouldn't have been fossilized if God had removed the legs in the Garden of Eden. However, I have always thought, or conjectured anyways, that our good friend Quetzalcoatl here, you know, the demonic god of the Aztecs, had something in common with a very early rendition of serpent. I think it's serpent or snake. No, what was it? Gosh darn it, I can't remember. And I tried to find it and I couldn't find it. But there's an ancient pictograph in Chinese, and it's part of the Chinese language, that is a winged snake. And for those who haven't seen the gospel or the Genesis in the Chinese language video I did, they have an understanding in the Chinese language of the book of Genesis that predates anything from the Middle East, right? It goes back 4,500 years, right back to the Tower of Babel, almost. And your video on that was cool. Thank you, Jim Cruddy. And one of the things in there was that they, when they were saying tempter and Satan and all that stuff, one of the pictographs was a winged snake. And I was thinking, the winged snake remind me of Quetzalcoatl, right? The demonic, I say demonic because it wasn't obviously, the feathered or winged serpent of the Aztecs. And I'm like, the winged serpent. And then think of the curse of the serpent. You shall, slither on your belly for the rest of time. What if, rather than something with legs, or something in addition to having legs, it was a winged snake? Sounds like a dragon to me. But what if that is the original design of the serpent that God cursed? I think that bears a little, I don't know. It's all conjecture. But it's, sometimes it's fun to think about. Where are we? One of the summons in FF games is Quetzalcoatl, however you spell it, and that's Japan lore. Oh, Final Fantasy. Amazing how the Bible contains so many creatures that are referenced in so many different cultures, yet gets written off as myth. Very true. Dragon says, winged serpents have probably been our psychology and folklore for more than 10,000 years. So Chinese and Aztec cultures likely are related, though 5,000 years removed from each other. I don't know. I have this weird theory. I know everybody thinks that they all came across the Alaskan archipelago, whatever. I don't remember what they called it when that Russia and Alaska were closer together and it was frozen in ice and they all walked around there. I have a different theory. Because people from the mainland of the Orient got in these boats and somehow figured out how to transverse an entire ocean and land in places like Hawaii, Samoa, Philippines, Singapore. Singapore? Is Singapore an island? I don't remember. All the islands in the Pacific were populated by Asians, by Orientals. And then what? Do you really think that, oh my gosh, we just transversed half of this great empty sea, we're just going to stay here now? No. Bering Land Bridge. Yeah, that's the one. I really don't think that's the case. I do think that the Eskimos are related to the Ainu, which is all the native people of Japan, right? But I think they kind of stopped there. I mean, maybe some of them kept going south. Maybe there was some intermingling. So, but I think the people who populated South America and Central America, more than likely, they came from Samoa and Tonga and Hawaii and New Zealand. All these places where Oriental people got there with boats, I think that's how they got. They just kept going. All right, or we got to these islands, populate, repopulate, build another boat. They get that, that itchy finger, whatever, itchy, the sailing bug, and just kept going east. And like, lo and behold, So yeah, I can see how the winged serpent would transcribe from China, all the way to Central America. Totally get it. But that's my theory. I never heard anybody else talk about it. It just makes so much common sense. It's like they're not just going to stop. They ain't just going to stop. Let's see. What are you guys saying here? What about dragons with legs then? Back where we started. Dragons with legs? Yeah. What? They're called dinosaurs. Dragons. Dragons are dinosaurs. I could go on, but what do you want to know? Could be an ancient comic book character or advertisement. We really don't know. Nobody's wrong or right. What? Quetzalcoatl? Bearing Membridge. Doing comics in stone would make it hard to meet the monthly deadline. True. I also noticed, I mean, look at all these different stuff. Obviously, this is repair work here. But look at all these different stones and colors. And then they used mortar, right? They used mortar here. This isn't like the Egyptian pyramids, which were like perfect, right? You couldn't even slide a piece of paper in between two of the stones in Egypt. But here they're like, uh-oh, we got a gap. Let's fill this up with mortar. Interesting. Where was I? Not all Indians are solely or Asian in origin. We do know that there is European mixed in there somewhere that is much older than we earlier expected. Well, yeah, we know the Vikings got here. We know the Giants got here. So if the Giants could get here, then other African, European, Middle Eastern people could have gotten here. So, yeah. They did, Mike. There are... Whoops. Where did I lose you? There are many stories from those cultures about other arcs, most likely after the flood. Yeah. I know, but that's... Oh, gosh, that could have been what gave them even motivation. I mean, what's the motivation? You're living on land, and what, somebody's just like looking out to the vast empty ocean thinking, there's got to be an island out there 4,000 miles away somewhere that I can find. I mean, what's the mentality there? It's like, you know, I don't know. That's some crazy wanderer's lust to be given into when you're like, I know there's something out there. I'm gonna go find it. Who's with me? And then somehow or another convinces a bunch of people to go with them. I wonder what those first boats were like, and what, they had to be catching and eating fish along the way, because that is such a long voyage when you don't know where you're going. You're just off into the great blue beyond. You guys hear about the story of the guy with the guy who was on a life raft for, I forget how long it was, like months. And this school of fish would tag along with him. And that's how he survived. He got to be so familiar with the fish, he freaking named them. And then, every few days or whatever, when he got starving, it's like he just sort of, I don't know what he used to gaff him, but he would just get one of those fish. No, he was he was in a raft like the whole time. It was a crazy story. And like he just pulled in one of these fish and sushi time. But can you imagine, man? I can't imagine. That's just crazy. Humanity's weird. But as to our other arc story, yeah, there's over 300 essentially Noah's Ark stories in disparate cultures around the planet. It is literally probably the single most documented event in Earth's history, because it is replete, again, over 300 disparate, unconnected societies have a Noah's Ark story. Angry, vengeful God, one family saved, saves the animals, giant boat, flooded Earth, all that stuff. We have reports from so many cultures that are unconnected that any rational person who's not deliberately trying to reject the Bible has to admit that the global flood was an historic event. There is no event in history as firmly documented as Noah's flood. I challenge anyone to refute that fact. You can't. Sorry. Because you just have to fall back on a bunch of unrealistic, not unrealistic, unprovable stuff. The Fire Dragon says, everyone knows the flood was real. It's the cause of the flood that is debated. Well, you got like 300 stories of them saying it was an angry God. So, whatever. God was wrathful back then? Stick around. Well said, Mike. Humanity spread across the globe prior to the last ice age. Then we were cut off from each other. Inbreeding happened, genetic mutation. Now we have the races of the last 12,000 years. No. That's a theory. Humanity did spread across the globe. That's true. And then we're cut off from each other. That's also true. Breeding happened. Genetic mutation? Nah. Genetic variation. And now we have the races of the last 12,000 years. I'm going to go with 6,000 years. Everything else is true. You just got the date wrong. Dragon. Caucasoids were in Asia before the Mongoloids. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I mean, I don't know what the quote-unquote race, I don't know what the genetic variation in the people born of the flood. See, I have this thing. There are three colors. There are three primary colors to the human race: Caucasoid, Mongoloid, Negroid, right? Black, white, yellow. The other races are variations on those the three primary colors in that color palette. Say Noah was whatever race. I'm gonna say whatever. And Noah's wife was his race, or his shade of whatever color. Noah had 3 sons. Noah's sons had 3 wives. I don't know how many primary colors there were prior to the flood. I don't know how much of the genetic variation in the human genome we lost at the flood. Right? I mean, there could have been orange people. There could have been blue people. Who knows? Not blue like blue, but, like blue like vampire blue or whatever. There could have been a wider range of genetic variation, all lost in the flood, but narrowed down to what was available in the 8 people on the ark. And through those people, all of the other people on this planet were born. Brown, pink, and olive. Pink. Fire Dragon. Science believes The flood was the result of the melting that followed the last ice age. Well, that wouldn't be enough flood to cover the earth. That's the thing. It's in order for the flood to cover the earth, the landscape had to be vastly different. We couldn't have Mount Everest, right? We couldn't have 10,000 foot tall mountains. It would have had to have been a much more flat surface, and geology bears that out, because what do you find at the top of Mount Everest? You find seashells, which means that Mount Everest you find fossilized seashells, which means that Mount Everest had to be at the bottom of the ocean. Now, did that mean that it was covered by the flood, or does that mean that it was part of the bottom of the ocean? And then sometime after the flood, the upheavals brought Everest up, right? Or all the other mountains. You see the craziest geologic patterns that could not have happened if it took millions and billions of years to form, right? You see the strata in absolute waves and rounding and perfect folding and stuff that can only happen if all of that land was moist and flexible at the same time, which cannot happen if it took millions and billions of years to form. It just can't happen. It's just reality. But they exist. So you've either got to deal with reality, or you've got to come up with super crazy freaking imaginary bullcrap to explain why those things exist. Reality. They were all formed at the same time. They were all soft at the same time, and then they were bent into that shapes through some sort of amazing upheaval in the Earth's crust. So you can be a realist or you can be an evolutionist. You cannot be both. Sorry. Caucasoids were in Asia before Mongoloids. The population from the Bering Strait was pushed into the Americas, so they are all definitely from there. They are definitely from there, but not necessarily all. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think some of them did go down there, but but I think a lot of them came from just across the ocean. Yeah, Easter Island. Gosh, it's not. Yeah. Anyways, that's stupid, Mike. Everyone knows that ancient people didn't possess boat technology. Right. Golly, did I let this go? It's possible. Better technical boats aren't possible. Just like the city of Petra. Oh yeah, just look at the city of Petra. They had pretty advanced tech. Well, that's the thing. Look at the pyramids. The pyramids can't be built today with our modern technology. So whatever their tech was, they had it from an advancement that we have lost through time. I think it was pre-flood technology. Pre-flood technology, I speculate, because if you think about it, and you guys have probably heard me say this before, I've been here for over a year doing this, so I know that you guys have heard a lot of this stuff before. If you think about it, genetically, these people prior to the flood were closer to God, because Adam and Eve were made in the image and likeness of God. Adam and Eve were the smartest people ever created, because they were made in the image and likeness of God. The smartest people ever created were the ones that cast us into sin, just as a tangential point. What happened is you get information loss over time. You get genetic information loss, and gradually people get dumber. Sorry. And then someone like Einstein sticks out like a sore thumb because he's smarter. Now imagine when you're the older you get, the more you learn, the more you understand, the more you can develop stuff, right? The more you get smarter as you get older, right? Just out of maybe smarter is not the right word. More informed, more educated as you get older. Now imagine you have people who are genetically closer to God than we could ever dream of being, intelligence-wise as well. They live for centuries. Do you really think those people would be like freaking caveman Neanderthals? No. Pre-flood people, they're not sitting there banging things together with rocks, right? Noah built an ark out of gopher wood the size of a building. I mean, my old church, The Rock, is the same dimensions as the. This thing is monstrous huge, and he built that with pre-flood technology. Now, what other people did with pre-flood technology, I don't know. We've got stuff that's encased in stone, screws and hammers and whatnot. But they had to have better tech. Yeah, they had to figure stuff out. And I think some of that pre-flood technology made it post-flood with Noah and his kids, right? And some of that information got handed down and passed down. And that information technology is how they managed to build the pyramids. Again, something we can't do today. Noah had 600 years to build the ark. Time helps. No, he didn't. He had 120 years to build the ark. And then we lost it. But same thing with the people. I know I just took this up, but same thing with these guys, right? Somehow or another they figured it out. Or did they figure it out, or did they just know how? Did they know how to build seagoing vessels with the pre-flood technology, not with some caveman-esque, figuring stuff out? Information gets lost. If you don't maintain information, you lose it. Right? You lose it. And so yeah, you go back to the city of Petra. You go back to a lot of ancient civilizations. It's like, it reminds me of The Last Kingdom. No, not The Last Kingdom. Vikings. If you guys have seen Vikings. So King, is it Alfred? Is it Alfred or it's his grandfather? Alfred. I think it's King Alfred. He's in England, and he's showing off to Lagatha. He's showing off all this Roman sculpture and paintings and the buildings and the technology, all this stuff, and he's like, he's looking at it like some alien beings came down and built it, because they said it's like that they believed it was a common belief that giants had built all this stuff. It was just the Romans. But in England, they had lost all of that, right? Now just take that to a grander scale, and that's kind of the reality of like the pyramids and Petra probably and all this kind of stuff, right? We just lost the technology, because technology, if it is not maintained and passed down generation to generation, just disappears from the timeline. Also, they try to refute the time of the flood. You find them trying to say it was 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 150,000 years. No. The reason for flood myths are because we used to live in flood plains primarily, so obviously there's going to be a large flood that happens eventually that gets mythologized. Not hard to explain. The consistency of the actual story is what becomes impossible to explain, Dragon. Impossible. Not hard. Impossible. You can't have the consistency of an angry God killing everyone on Earth and saving one family in a boat with all the animals. People survive floods. All the time, people survive floods. The idea that all of the earth was killed by an angry god to reset the human population, and he saved them all with a giant boat, which, by the way, he was forewarned about to build. No, you're stretching. You just don't want to believe it. Oh, shoot, we're in an hour. Darn, that just flew by, didn't it? I get into this kind of stuff, and it just... I'm sorry. Nerdy. Anyways, back to... here we go. I don't know if it's moved at all in this hour, but Lone Star, Heart of the Hero, second printing. We've got the Black Friday 9 for $90 deal. Everyone do check that out. 9 covers of Heart of the Hero for only $10 each, plus a unique metal Lone Star bookmark. Let's see if this has moved at all. I haven't even checked. Boop. Nope. And then we have the Lone Star and Monster Hunt Black Friday deal. 8 books, 4 of each of the color covers, plus, again, a metal Lone Star, a different metal Lone Star bookmark, all for only $80. Come and get that. Let's see if that moved at all. Probably not. 176, 113. Nope. So, but do tell a friend, and we'll be back here a little later to go through some more of this fun stuff. I figure Atlantis was in Antarctica. Anyways, thanks for being here. God bless you guys. I'll see you shortly.